There's not much
Exactly.
else you can find that way. You know, I was looking at some of the Mr. Basketball stuff, and they announced the winner yesterday, and Kelvin Torbert Jr. from East Lansing is the winner, right? 25 years after his dad, who was just a guest on this show. But when you think about players who played in the MAC, and KJ is going to be at Bowling Green, there are two that jump out. David Kuhl, who wound up at Western Michigan. Yep, terrific player.
Yep.
And Emoni Bates, who started at Memphis and then transferred to Eastern Michigan. But I was looking at a picture of Emoni, and he's still only 22 years old. He's the same age as Jalen Duren, who's finishing his fourth year in the NBA, and both of those guys are younger than Trey Fort at Michigan State.
But Emoni Bates has he slept-walked through his year at Eastern, actually, and to still be struggling in the Cleveland Cavaliers G League team tells me he may be one of those guys that's going to be a footnote in basketball history. That we saw his best days in high school. We never saw Antoine Gobert. Put him in that category. Now, I'm not saying for sure, but that's the way it looks right now, because look at the way Duren has developed in his 4 years, and look, take a look at Bates, and there's no comparison as far as development and hard work.
Jim, I don't know if you know this, but Larry Lage, Michigan Associated Press sports editor, had an arrangement with the Bates family where he'd been following them very closely for a long period of time. And he was writing a book. Right? It was going to be the book about the story of Emoni Bates, because he was, in some people's mind, not the next Jordan, maybe the next Kevin Garnett, right?
Certainly was on the cover of
cover of Sports Illustrated.
The next coming player. Sure.
Yeah. And it finally blew up because it was perceived that Larry had said something or written something critical, which the Bates family didn't want. And so, anyway, they pulled the plug on the project. And on one hand, it was the best move of Larry's career not to be involved in this. Yeah. On the other hand, I would have bought that book. I wouldn't have wanted a complimentary copy. I'd have rushed out to get it to find out the truth.
Well, I remember seeing him play when Eastern played at Oakland University. And I'll tell you right now, Dak, I've never seen a talented player, like I say, sleepwalk through a game. He just wasn't. It was embarrassing how poorly he played as far as his talent level and how little he worked. And I'm no expert, but I've seen some basketball in my life. I could tell.